Arum.
Today I'm standing out front of a restaurant that I'm right now in the Tultumpung area in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. This is an area, there's a lot of foreigners, there's a lot of really unique restaurants, and so I'll probably be going to this area quite a bit in future food episodes because there's a lot of choices here and there's a lot of great restaurants. One thing that's kind of weird about these restaurants is they're constantly popping up and going out of business just because it's really competitive. But here is a restaurant that popped up a little while back. Leakena and I have been going back and forth to it over and over again because it has really authentic food. It's someplace that Leakena always enjoys. It's nice and there's some really good authentic sour soups and meats, and of course I enjoy it as well. It's an authentic Khmer flavor. Anything else you need to know, I'll drop a pin. It's located just south of the Tultumpung market, so it's pretty easy to find. It's only available in the afternoon, which is why we're here this afternoon on this beautiful Saturday here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I see a lot of things that I don't recognize and nothing's in English. So for a foreigner, what do you think would be good? Tom Yum is a safe bet. What else? This is like a lemony lime sour soup. What else do we have?
Inside we have more green veggie bong thingy.
So this would be a safe bet as well, just kind of like
safe to eat and
meat with veggies. Now this, I really like this one. This is like it's like a sweet and ginger fish. I mean, it's really good with rice. It's really flavorful. I would recommend that.
Can have the cha chu aim here.
Okay. Cha chu aim is like sweet and sour shrimp.
Pork rib also good for you.
Wow, okay, so there's a lot of kind of foreign options. Even though when you look at the menu, it doesn't look exciting. It's actually pretty good. Now, what should they not get? Not like.
Actually, like similar like this here.
Because it has
if somebody didn't like it, it might be hard because the fish has a lot of bone in here.
Oh, a lot of bones.
Bone in here, and they're more spicy, quite spicy, and uses seafood sauce. You like it? You like this?
Yeah, I like that.
You like this salad, but I don't think the other might like it.
And
here is called prahok dish.
Okay, this is
so like amount this. It is so good. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
But like it depends on if people cook prahok more, like they leave prahok more than a meat. It seems to be more like taste prahok, like pain, smell or whatever. But I'm not really recommending. I'm not really recommending for you guys too because this fish, there's a lot of bone inside. I love it because I like chewing. I like bone. And
I think that's good. That's good.
And here, I'm not recommend as well because it is the intestine.
Oh, that's intestines.
Yeah.
So they really need to be aware for
tan chas by Jew. It's mean like
so that word "buh" right there, right there means stomach.
Yeah.
So watch out for that word. That just arrived, and that one only took about 2 minutes.
Yeah, like 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
And this is looking good. All right, the next dish just came, and what is this? Cha katnya sakko, manot.
Cha bong, cha katna sakko.
Hey, katnya is this, right?
Katna good green veggie here.
Yeah, katnya is the green veggie, and sakko means
beef.
Cow meat or beef. Okay, so at a lot of these restaurants here, they have the mai. So you could just eat it plain. That's kind of how Westerners would do it. But actually, you're going to use the rice. And why don't you show us how it's done on one of the plates? Yeah. Yeah. So if you could scoop out a bit. So you're gonna put the rice right there. And you're gonna mix whatever you're eating, whether it be a soup or a dish like this, and you're gonna put it on your own plate with the rice. So it is very much family style. No matter where you are or what you're doing, the family style is really common here in Cambodia. And so you always have your own rice plate, but then you're gonna share the dishes that are in
you can use the small bowl to share the soup as well if you want to.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about this dish, like in 10 seconds, 20 seconds.
Okay, like this called beef fried with katna. Katna is a green veggie here, you see.
And it looks like it's got some mushrooms. We've got some ginger in there. What's the sauce taste like?
The sauce just normal, like you use the garlic to fry with the meat first and then let it cook and then you add some spices.
It's very much like a sauteed, it's very much a sauteed sauce. And then tell me about the soup. What's in the soup? We've got lemongrass.
Lemongrass, galangal.
Galangal
Turmeric.
is kind of like ginger, but it's not.
Garlic, galangal, lemongrass, and so you need to crunch it together with the mortar pestle.
Mortar and pestle, yeah.
Yes, like crunch it and you make it into the paste, like the lemongrass paste, and then you cook it with brohok in here, okay?
Oh, really?
Yes, brohok
Okay.
is here too.
Which,
That's
and brohok
secret.
is a fermented fish thing?
Fish.
Yeah, but if you use a
Maybe-
small amount, it's kind of nice.
Maybe like this much flavor.
Like this much?
Like this much.
So that's another thing, when you're giving sizes in Cambodia, you use your
This,
finger.
this,
We usually
this.
say this much or this much,
Yeah.
but in Cambodia
Maybe
you
like
just like
this
this much, or you
much.
say this much with the
2 times
finger.
of this.
Two
Like
thumbs.
2 small fish.
2 thumbs worth.
Actually, 2 small fish.
Okay, interesting.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see how this tastes. Always have it with a little bit of rice. I actually really like that sauce. It's like a tangy, the garlic is very strong. It's like a satay sauce. Or let's try the mushroom with the katnya, which is the green leafy vegetable. That's nice too. It's not cooked a lot. Like it's not very soft. It's so crunchy. But the flavor is kind of bitter, almost like a tea. Tastes like a tea leaf almost. But it's really nice with the garlic and with all the flavors that are mixed in. Yep. So I would say great. I would say I would highly recommend eat this with the rice because the flavor is going to be overpowering if you don't mellow it out with the rice. Also, as a guy like me, where it's hard for me to actually get full on dishes like this, the rice is the filler. So you think about actually in terms of history, rice was always the thing that allowed you to make a dish last longer. Rice is cheap, and even if you have a little bit of the main dish, you can make it last a lot longer with the rice. And the rice is usually free. Sometimes they charge you for it, but at places like this where they serve it in this, it's usually free. And that's kind of like a secret hack to being full in Cambodia. Go to those restaurants, just eat as much rice as you possibly can. All right, Niguchia Maju Grung Saiko. And this is like a really sweet and not sweet. This is a sour soup, and you can see inside is a lot of lemongrass. That's all the little flecks of stuff you see. They use the mortar and pestle to break down the lemongrass, and it spreads really nicely throughout the dish, and the flavor really permeates everything in there. In fact, it goes into the meat very quickly. You'll see the meat is really thin, and this allows it to be cooked faster, as well as they don't have to put as much meat in the dish. And you can see all of this. This is the gong through. This is like morning glory is, what do they call it in Khmer? Okay, yeah. And I would say the flavor, it's like a really citrusy flavor. Maybe that's coming from the lemongrass. It's one of the interesting things with soups here in Cambodia is you usually put it on the rice. So even though in America we would usually eat the soup just plain, putting it with the rice, not only does it kind of mute the flavor a little bit, it just helps add a little something to it. You know how maybe you would have soup with like bread, you'd dip bread in it? Instead of doing that, we put it with the rice, because rice is like the bread equivalent here in Cambodia. Very green, very healthy. I think the sour part is really great when you are in a hot environment because you're sweating so much. The sour seems to replenish your electrolytes a lot, which is why lemonade or lime juice tastes really good on a hot day. All right, so one quick note is that Saik go, or beef, is kind of a safe bet here in Cambodia. If you get chicken in a soup especially, it's most likely that they're gonna put the chicken on a chop block and just chop it with the bones. So you usually deal with bones with the chicken and or fish. So the bones are going to be in there. This one is so hard to describe because I feel as though there are a lot of flavors within it that you don't encounter in most Western dishes. I think it's the presence of the lemongrass and then the sour. I don't remember a lot of soups growing up in America that were really sour. I know we have like some of my favorites from California were clam chowder, as well as like a good tomato soup, a chicken broth type thing, or a beef stew. But the sour soup is something that is totally new to me here in Cambodia. And if you want a authentic flavor of Cambodian sour soup, I would highly recommend coming to this restaurant and ordering. This is the Machu Saiko, Machu Krung Saiko. Right, time for story time with Leakena. Does this remind you of a story from your childhood, or do you... Okay, tell me a story from your childhood about
Actually, this has become my favorite. You know why?
Okay, why?
Because when I was young, this is the kind of food that one thing is that you don't spend much.
Oh, you don't need to spend much on this.
Yeah, now they might spend a little bit more because they're using the beef, which is like a more expensive one. But before, like beef, it come from like different part of the cow, right? So actually, the one that I cooked when I was young, I cooked the beef, which is the beef cheaper, and you can get like half kilo. You can cook a big size of pot like that. And the other part that I like about this food is like when you cook, you seem to be get together, like sitting down. One have to cut the meat, one have to crunch the lemongrass, and one have to chop the prahok and the chili. Like it seemed to be a family cook. Like
nice.
Yeah. But seriously, the most important is it's so cheap to cook this food.
All right, so it's time for us to give our final rating on this. So overall, what would we rate this restaurant? First, price-wise, what would you say?
So
Great
good price. Like
it's about
look,
$2.
a big bowl of this, and a big bowl of this. Like each of them, and the whole set. Like they count as a person if you come to eat this.
Yeah.
Like one person is $2, which
That's
is
amazing.
Which is you can order 2 dish, right?
Well, $2 per dish, I think.
Yeah, $2 per dish. Like one person
Can eat, two for $2 here at this
$2.
restaurant. And unlimited rice. That's wonderful. And not only that, but free tea as well. So that's nice.
I see.
It's not sweet tea, it's iced tea.
I see.
Price, I would say, is excellent. I'd give the price probably a 5 just because for this quality, for this portion, that's the most food you can get for $2 at this quality. Cleanliness, how would we rate the cleanliness of the restaurant? Overall, pretty clean. Is the table clean? Are the utensils clean?
Utensils, like they put in the box, free air, like air not going through.
They cover the utensils so there's no dust that's going to go in there.
They provide you by the tissue.
Okay, so I would say cleanliness is probably, the ground and everything around doesn't look particularly nice an ambient, so I'd say cleanliness is probably at a 3 or 4. Do not use the bathroom because when I think about cleanliness, I think about would I let my American mother come to this restaurant? And she would not come to this restaurant. And if she saw the bathroom, it'd be like a 1 on the cleanliness scale, and she would freak out. So do not take your parents if they're used to American cleanliness standards. Authenticity and quality of the food. I think you would say this is really great, authentic food, very Khmer, cooked like you would at home.
You want to experience Khmer food? Khmer food, like the family cook. So like you want to come to the really Khmer cook, go to the normal restaurant like that, and then you get the taste as that.
I would say this is really authentic flavor. It's not the kind of westernized version of Khmer food. I mean, when I try a westernized Khmer food, it's just as bad as Khmeritized American food. And so it's just have it in its pure form. So this is great Khmer food, authentic quality. I would rate it as a 5. If Leakena wants to keep coming back again and again, I know it's authentic, good, as if it's cooked from home. Sustainability is like, is there a lot of trash? Is there a lot of single-use plastic? The only single-use plastic that I saw was the straws. So those could be easily replaced. You bring your own bamboo straw, and you could just ask for them not to give you a straw. And that's really good too, because then when they see that more people don't ask for a straw, then it
Actually, I prefer to do that better.
Yeah. Now, why do people always use straws? You don't need it, right? Well, the main idea is that sometimes they don't clean the cups as much, and so the straw is kind of a nice way of sanitizing it. And so your lips never have to touch something that someone else's lips have touched. So it's actually a sanitary thing.
And it becomes the habit, but a lot of places they clean very well, but it still needs straw.
Not necessary. And the last one is our Leakena rating. So the Travis Leakena rating, or Leakena rating, is going to be on a scale of 1 to like I would never come back here to 4 or 5. 4. Okay.
I can say 4.
All right, so I think that's it for this episode. Hope that you get a chance to visit this restaurant yourself if you're coming to visit Cambodia. If you do, please please drop a comment down below on how you like the place, and please be polite to the people here. They do not speak English as much, so just be aware of that. You might need to point a lot, and just be aware that you might get the wrong dish. That's okay, just eat. It's part of the experience, okay? The staff is super friendly, and we really appreciate them. So just be respectful, and just know it's not an American restaurant. It's not a Western restaurant. So you're in their culture. So just be generous and show grace, because they're showing you a lot of grace too. At least I'm saying that from my experience. All right, so I will catch you next time. Jam Riplia. Pray both.